Pretty much anyone who's spent any time in the Bay Area knows the San Francisco connection to the Maltese Falcon, of course, John's Grill, the restaurant, and the novel by Dashiell Hammett, which led to the film in 1941. Somebody correct my math if I'm wrong on the year on the movie. Sam Spade, and of course, Dashiell Hammett's other characters, Nick and Nora Charles, and what was it, the Continental Op. And what Terry did in putting this together today, and he won't toot his own horn much, but I will for him, is to have taken not a 1950s radio play. There was a Maltese Falcon version done in the 1950s for a series called Hollywood Showcase, in which case they telescoped the whole thing down to a 30-minute radio play. So I've never heard that production or read that script, but I have to assume a lot of the good stuff got left out, and maybe even some of the characters. Terry took a look at that in putting together this year's Radio Dog Theater performance for you today and realized that it just wasn't enough. And so what he did was go back to the original film script and rework that for today's performance. So that's not a small thing. And the work done by Terry and, of course, by the actors, some of whom you'll recognize as Bay Area radio performers here today, well, it's quite remarkable. And I'm just thrilled that you could be here to be part of it. You'll be hearing the Maltese Falcon, truly a world premiere radio play version presented by the CHRS Radio Dog Theater.
As I recall, I got this at the wharf 30 years ago, more, and they're still available, and they're fantastic. And don't eat much. These are the original Bakelite phones used in the era. Hello. And here's the sound. You're going to hear it a lot today, but I want you to just close your eyes. I don't need a microphone for this. Listen. Nobody remembers that. That is a dial phone, a rotary phone.
I'm sorry to start things off this way, but unfortunately I just received a telegram that reads, "It is with heartfelt sorrow that I will not be able to attend this afternoon's performance. Duties here at the White House have me very, very busy. Thank you, sincerely yours, Franklin Delano Roosevelt." I knew if I kept the snare drummer here, I'd get a rim shot. Can I have another one? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a ball putting this together. We're going to, of course, do a curtain call at the end, but I want you to meet the actors who have contributed their time and their considerable talents to put this absolutely fantastic show together. First of all, we have our sound man. Now, in the old days, of course, you would have had a team of sound men, some opening and closing doors, some guys dialing phones, but we've wrapped it up into all one compact wizard by the name of Dr. Rick Banghart, right here. Playing the rather nasty police lieutenant Dundee is your and my very own Steve Cushman, right here. Stand up. It's the only way you're going to be seen, Steve, if you stand up. Did I say stand? No, I didn't. Okay. Here he is, Sam Spade himself, Sam Van Zandt. And, of course, the slimy and wonderful Joel Cairo, Michael Bennett. The part of Iva, the very, very difficult to handle widow of Miles Archer, Trish Robbins.
No, Trish Bell.
Trish Bell. And Effie Perrine, Sam's secretary, Trish Robbins. Thank you, gals. We found a naughty, naughty person to play a naughty, naughty heroine, and that would be Celeste Perry as Bridget O'Shaughnessy. She's not naughty, I just threw that out there. My goodness. Now, naughty, we'll talk about this guy here. Here is Polhouse's partner, Dundee's partner, Sergeant Polhouse, played by Richard Kerrigan. Here he is in a dual role, multi-talented actor playing two roles. Stop it. Make me stop. Monterey Morrissey as Miles Archer and as the Gunzel, Wilmer Cook. All right, have a seat. And last but certainly not least, the one and only Casper Gutman, Joe Peralta. And the guy who is mixing all of this for us so you can hear it out in the house and also for our broadcast is a man who is perhaps one of the... What happened? Somebody get stepped on? What was that? Oh, it's a dog. Okay, well then, that's the way dogs sound. It's perfectly all right. Here's a man who for years recorded probably every lick, every note that the Grateful Dead recorded, and we are so really thrilled to have him again this year, as we did last year with War of the Worlds. The mixing genius, Dan Healy. Now, where's Stan? Stan? Okay. Oh, I thought you were coming up here. No, that's all right, that's all right.
I'll be happy to stay here, if that's okay with you.
I'm fine. My name is Terry McGovern, and we have a very special somebody in the audience today, but Stan's going to tell you all about it. Okay?
All right, so
Good.
Terry's going to get into character. Please just allow him that. And we have with us today really a remarkable echo of the story we're about to hear, and that would be the granddaughter of Dashiell Hammett. And so somewhere in the room, if you'll please stand, I don't know if we have a spotlight or if we can figure this out, but Julie Rivette is with us today. Julie, welcome and thanks for being here. Here we are, right over here, folks. Julie is Dashiell Hammett's granddaughter, and she had a pretty salty line I could use to... Can I use your line about how to pronounce your last name?
Oh, yes, it'll set the world straight.
Yeah, she said it's Rivette, like Corvette, fast and high maintenance. We're glad to have you with us today. Thank you, Julie. And without further ado, the Maltese Falcon, presented by the CHRS Radio Dog Theater.
My name's Spade, Sam Spade. I'm a private investigator in the city of San Francisco. It was a routine, beautiful day on the bay. From my Telegraph Hill office, I could look down on the newest engineering marvel, the Bay Bridge. No indication of the thick fog that would roll in later in the night, as it always does in the hot summer months. I share the offices with my partner, Miles Archer. Nothing much going on, so I was thinking about heading over to John's Grill for lunch when Effie, our secretary, poked her head in.
Sam, there's a girl out here wants to see you. Her name's Wonderly.
Were we expecting her?
No, but you'll want to see her anyway. She's a knockout.
Oh, show her in, Effie, darling. Show her in.
Well, come in, Miss Wonderly.
Thank you.
Won't you sit down, Miss Wonderly?
Thank you. I inquired at the hotel for the name of a reliable private detective agency, and they mentioned yours.
Well, suppose you tell me about it from the very beginning.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm from New York.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find my sister. I have reason to believe that she's here in San Francisco with a man named Floyd Thursby. Don't know where she met him. Mother and father, they're in Honolulu. I can't imagine how upset they'd be. Father has a weak heart. The news would kill him. I gotta find her before they get back home on the 1st of the month.
Well, that gives us 2 weeks. Have you heard from your sister?
A letter from her about 2 weeks ago. It said nothing except that she was all right. I sent her a telegram, begging her to come home. I sent it to general delivery here in San Francisco. That's the only address she gave me. I waited a week and no answer came. So I decided to come here myself. I wrote her that I was coming. I shouldn't have done that, should I?
Oh, it's not always easy to know what to do. You haven't found her?
No. I told her in my letter that I'd be at the St. Francis and that she should meet me there. It was horrible, waiting. I sent her another letter, general delivery, and then I went to the post office. Kieran didn't call for her mail. But the man, Floyd Thursby, did. He said Kieran didn't want to see me. I can't believe that. He promised he'd try to get her to come to the hotel that evening with him, but I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Well, it's all right, Miles. Come in. Miss Wonderly, my partner, Miles Archer. Miss Wonderly's sister ran away from New York with a fellow named Floyd Thursby. They're here in San Francisco. Miss Wonderly has seen Thursby and has a date with him tonight. He may bring the sister with him. Chances are he won't.
I see.
Miss Wonderly wants us to find the sister, get her away from Thursby and back home, right?
Yes.
Now it's simply a matter of having a man at the hotel this evening to shadow him when he leaves the hotel. He'll likely lead us right to your sister.
Okay.
Okay, but you must be very careful.
Now, don't you worry. We know how to handle it.
Oh, but I want you to know he's a dangerous man. I honestly don't think he'd stop at anything. I don't think he'd hesitate to kill Corinne if he thought it would save him.
Could he cover up by marrying her?
He has a wife and 3 children back in England.
They usually do, though not always in England. What's he look like?
He has dark hair and bushy eyebrows, talks in a loud, blustery manner. He gives the impression of being a violent person.
Huh. What's he do for a living?
Why, I haven't the faintest idea.
Uh-huh. What time's he coming to see you?
After 8 o'clock.
All right, Miss Wonderly, we'll have a man there.
Uh-huh. I'll look after it myself.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Archer. Oh, yes, I have money for you. Will that be enough?
That'll be fine, for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Effie, would you see Miss Wonderly out, please?
Be right there, Sam.
Now, Miss Wonderly, it would help if you meet Thursby in the lobby. Right, Miles?
That's right. But don't you worry about looking for me. I'll see you all right.
Thank you.
This way, Miss Wonderly.
San Francisco gets very foggy at night. Last night, I could barely see 2 feet in front of me. Well, goodbye, Mr. Spade. Mr. Archer, I'll see you tonight then.
That you will. Till then.
Yes, until then.
Say, this money of hers looks good. What do you think of her?
Well, I think she's terrific. Sam, now you maybe saw her first, but I spoke first. I'll be keeping a very close eye on her tonight.
I know you will. You got brains, Miles. Yes, you have. Hello. Yes, speaking. Oh, hello, Tom. Miles Archer dead. Where? Bush and Stockton? What time is it? 3 a.m.? Oh, thanks. I'll be right over. Bush and Stockton was only a couple of blocks away. I'd need that walking time to clear my head so I could figure out how to deal with it. Miles, my partner, was dead. Shot in the alley above the new construction of the Stockton Street Tunnel. How could this have happened? Miles was an experienced operative. He wouldn't have been tricked into going into a dark alley in the middle of the night. Or would he? When I got to Bush and Stockton, the place was swarming with cops moving around in the thick fog.
Sam, over here.
Yeah, it was a voice I knew well, Detective Tom Polhouse, a good cop, and the one who'd phoned me with the bad news.
Yeah, we want to talk to you, Spade.
The other voice was a familiar one, too. Polhouse boss, Lieutenant Dundee. There was no love lost between me and Dundee.
Hello, Sam. It's bad down there.
Polhouse pointed past a collapsed fence down the excavation ravine. I could just make out Miles' body with a handful of cops looking around.
I figured you'd want to see it before we took him away.
Thanks, Tom. What happened?
Got him right through the old pump with one shot. Looks like a .38.
Well, let's see. He was shot up here, huh? Standing like you are with his back to the fence. The shooter stands here. Miles goes back, taking the top off the fence and going on through and down till the rocks catch him. That it?
Yeah, that's it. The blast burnt his coat.
Who found him?
The cop on the beat. You coming down for a look at him before he's moved?
No, you've seen everything I could.
His gun was tucked away on his hip. He hadn't been fired. His overcoat was buttoned. There was a $100 bill in his vest pocket and 30-some-odd bucks in his pants. Was he working? Well?
He was supposed to be tailing a fellow named Floyd Thursby.
For what?
We were trying to find out where he lived.
You carry a gun, Spade?
No, I don't like him much. Of course, there are some at the office. Hey, just what are you sucking around for, Dundee?
Why were you trailing Thursby?
I wasn't. Miles was. For the swell reason we had a client who was paying good American money to have him tailed.
Who's the client?
Sorry, I can't tell you that.
Aw, be reasonable, Sam. Give us a chance. How can we turn up anything on Miles' killing if you won't tell us what you've got?
We want the whole story.
What's your boyfriend getting at here, Tom?
Just this. We found your man Thursby, too, dead. I just left that scene to come over here. Miles couldn't have killed Thursby. Maybe it was you?
How did I kill him? I forget.
He was shot 4 times in the back with a 44 or a 45 from across the street. Nobody saw it, but that's the way it figures.
Hotel people know anything about him?
And nothing except he'd been there a week.
Alone?
Alone.
Did you find out who he was, what his game was?
We thought you could tell us that.
I've never seen Thursby, dead or alive.
You know me, Spade. If you did it or you didn't, you'll get a square deal out of me. I don't know that I'd blame you a lot killing the man that killed your partner, but that wouldn't keep me from nailing you.
Fair enough. Now I have to go inform Miles' wife.
Remember, we're going to want to talk to you some more.
I can't wait. As I trudged down the Stockton Street steps, I glanced in the direction of the cops milling around, trying to get Miles' body extricated from the rocks. I looked away. What was there to see? My partner was dead. I found an all-night pharmacy on Powell Street. I slid into one of their public phone booths and dialed my secretary's home number. Effie, it's me. Now listen, Precious. Miles has been shot. Yes, he's dead. Now calm down. Yes. You'll have to break it to Iva and keep her away from me. That's a good girl. Get right over there. You're an angel. Bye. I took my time walking back to my apartment. Miles and I had known each other for years. It was tough, him getting it like that. Miles had his faults, same as the rest of us, but he had his good points, too. He knew the business, and he knew the risks. But why did he go up that alley with his gun in his coat? And what about Miss Wonderly? Where was she during all of this? And then I stopped and stood there in the fog-chilled night. Something's not right here. My partner's been killed while working on a case brought to us by the lovely Miss Wonderly. But who is Miss Wonderly? I didn't get much sleep. My partner, Miles Archer, had been killed, murdered up a blind alley. I had to get to the bottom of it. I arrived at the office early, but Effie had beaten me to it.
Oh, Sam. Oh, poor Miles.
Take it easy, Precious. You get Miss Wonderly on the phone.
But there's already somebody in there, Sam.
Miles' wife? I told you to keep her away from me.
Yes, but you didn't tell me how. Oh, don't be cranky, Sam. I've been dealing with her all night.
Oh, sorry, Angel. I didn't mean you.
Sam!
Oh, hello, Iva.
Oh, Sam!
Iva, you poor thing. Come back into my office with me. Effie, a pot of coffee, please. Here, sit down, Iva. Did Effie attend to everything?
Yes, I think so. Oh, Sam! Did you kill Miles?
Who put that stupid idea into your head?
I thought maybe, oh, be kind to me, Sam.
Oh, you killed my husband, Sam. Be kind to me.
Oh, Sam, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, kiss me, Sam.
Don't, Iva. Get off me. I said don't. You shouldn't have come here today. You ought to be home.
I'm sorry, Sam. Yes, home. You'll come by to see me soon?
As soon as I can, Iva. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Sam. You know, Miles.
Goodbye, Iva.
Yes, yes. Goodbye.
Here's your coffee, Sam.
Thanks, sweetheart. How did you and the widow make out last night?
Oh, all right, I suppose, considering.
She thinks I shot Miles.
So you could marry her.
Marry her? I wish I'd never laid eyes on her. Anyway, the police think I shot Thursby, the guy Miles was tailing for the Wonderly girl. Who do you think I shot?
Maybe Iva shot Miles.
You're an angel. You know that? A nice rattle-brained angel.
Oh, am I? Suppose I told you that your Iva hadn't been home many minutes when I arrived to break the news at 3 o'clock this morning.
Are you telling me?
Yes, she kept me waiting at the door while she undressed. Her clothes were on a chair where she had dumped them, hat and coat underneath. Her slip on top was still warm. She'd wrinkled up the bed, but the wrinkles weren't mashed down.
You're a detective, darling, but she didn't kill him.
Do the police really think you shot this, what's his name?
Thursby?
You worry me, Sam. You always think you know what you're doing, but you're too slick for your own good. And someday you're going to find it out. Spade and Archer. Oh, Miss Wonderly, Mr. Spade wanted to speak to you.
Give me that. This is Sam Spade, Miss Wonderly. How's that? Oh, where are you? The Coronet on California Street, apartment 1001. And what's the name? Miss LeBlanc. Okay, I'll be right over. Effie, get Miles' desk moved out and have the Spade and Archer taken off the door and windows, and Samuel Spade put on.
All right, Sam. I know you didn't shoot anybody. Just do me one favor.
What's that?
Don't marry Iva.
You got yourself a deal, Angel.
And now a brief word from our sponsors.
Use Ajax, the foaming cleanser. Clean pots and pans, just like a whiz.
Ajax cuts grease faster than any other leading cleanser.
You'll stop paying the elbow tax when you start cleaning with Ajax.
Ajax really polishes as it cleans.
So use Ajax, the foaming cleanser. Floats the dirt right down the drain.
My gosh, they're right. Foaming action Ajax makes even the dirtiest pan shine like new in a jiffy.
So use Ajax.
Here's the story of the 1940 cars in a nutshell. Best Bets Buick. See your nearest Buick dealer for complete details.
This is Radio Day by the Bay, and you are listening to KCHR, the voice of the California Historical Radio Society, coming to you live from the Kaufman Theater in Alameda, California. And now, we return you to the Radio Dog Theater's presentation of The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett.
The cable car ride up California Street was quick. The Coronet was a recent 10-story apartment building about a block from Grace Cathedral. Miss Wonderly was now Miss LeBlanc. I wondered what else she had in store for me other than a name change.
Mr. Spade, thank you so much for coming. Please, come in.
Thank you.
Mr. Spade, I have a terrible, terrible confession to make.
And what would that be?
That story I told you yesterday was all, well, it was all a story.
Oh, that. We didn't exactly believe your story, Miss... is your name Wonderly or LeBlanc?
It's really O'Shaughnessy. Bridget O'Shaughnessy.
No, we didn't exactly believe your story, Miss O'Shaughnessy. We believed your $200.
You mean...
I mean that you paid us more than if you'd been telling us the truth, and enough more to make it all right.
Mr. Spade, tell me, am I to blame for what happened last night?
You warned us that Thursby was dangerous. Of course, you lied to us about your sister and all, but that doesn't count. We didn't believe you anyway. I wouldn't say it was your fault.
Thank you. Mr. Archer was so alive yesterday, so hearty and full of life.
Stop it. He knew what he was doing. Those are the chances we take.
Was he married?
Yes, with a 10,000 insurance policy. No children and a wife who didn't like him.
Oh, please, don't.
That's the way it was. Anyway, there's no time for worrying about that now. Out there, a flock of policemen and assisting district attorneys are running around with their noses to the ground.
Mr. Spade, do they know about me?
Not yet. I've been stalling them until I could see you.
Must they know about me at all, Mr. Spade? Couldn't you somehow manage to shield me from them so I won't have to answer their questions?
Maybe, but I'll have to know what it's all about.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Later I will, when I can. You must trust me, Mr. Spade. Oh, I am so alone and afraid. I've got nobody to help me if you won't help me. Be generous, Mr. Spade. You're strong. You're brave. You can spare me some of that strength and courage, surely. I've no right to ask you, but I do ask you. Help me.
You won't need much of anybody's help. You're good. It's chiefly your eyes, I think, that throb you get in your voice when you say things like, "Be generous, Mr. Spade."
I deserve that. But, oh, the lie was in the way I said it, and not at all in what I said. It's my own fault that you can't believe me now.
Oh, now you are dangerous. I got nothing against trusting you blindly, except that I won't be able to do you much good if I haven't some idea of what it's all about. For instance, I've got to have some sort of line on your Floyd Thursby.
I met him in the Orient. We came here from Hong Kong last week. He had promised to help me. He took advantage of my dependence on him to betray me.
Betray you? How? And why did you want him shadowed?
I wanted to learn how far he had gone, whom he was meeting, things like that.
Did Thursby kill Archer?
Yes, certainly.
He had a Luger in his shoulder holster. Archer wasn't killed with a Luger.
Floyd always carried an extra revolver in his overcoat pocket.
You picked a nice sort of playmate.
Only that sort could have helped me if he had been loyal.
How bad a hole are you actually in?
As bad as could be.
Physical danger?
I'm not heroic. I don't think there's anything worse than death.
Who killed Thursby? Your enemies or his?
I don't know. His, I suppose. But I'm afraid. I don't know.
Oh, this is hopeless. I don't know what you want. I don't even know if you know what you want.
You won't go to the police?
Go to them. All I got to do is stand still. They'll be swarming all over me. Well, I'll tell them all I know, and you'll have to take your chances.
You've been patient. You've tried to help me. It's hopeless and useless, I suppose. I thank you for what you've done. I'll have to take my chances.
How much money have you got?
I've got about $500 left.
Give it to me. Can't you get any more?
No.
You must have something you can raise money on.
I've some rings, a little jewelry.
You'll have to hock 'em. Give me the cash.
Here, take it all.
All right, I'll be back as soon as I can with the best news I can manage. I'll ring 4 times. Long, short, so you'll know it's me. You needn't come to the door with me. I can let myself out.
And now a brief word from our sponsors.
Halo, everybody, halo. Halo is the shampoo that glorifies your hair. So halo, everybody, halo. For softer, lively curls and brighter, sparkling hair. So halo, everybody, halo. Halo shampoo, halo.
We toast them crisp, we toast them light. You can tell by the taste we toast them. They're a tasty treat, so good to eat. Delicious and light from toasting. Oh, toasting.
And you know what? We like 'em.
This is Radio Day by the Bay, and you are listening to KCHR, the voice of the California Historical Radio Society, coming to you live from the Kaufman Theater in Alameda, California. And now, we return you to the Radio Dog Theater's presentation of The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett.
Oh, Sam, you're here. The name on the door's been changed, as you can see. Samuel Spade, just like you asked.
Thanks, Angel. Anything stirring?
Sam, there's a strange little man here to see you. Here's his card.
Hey, fancy lettering. Mr. Joel Cairo. It's scented. Gardenias. How lovely. Show him in, Effie.
This way, Mr. Cairo. Sam?
Oh, you've had a tough day, Angel. Go home. Get some sleep.
All right, Sam. Don't forget to lock the door when you go.
Well, Mr. Cairo, is it?
Yes, it is. Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Spade.
Grab a chair. What can I do for you?
Oh, thank you. And may a stranger offer condolences for your partner's unfortunate death?
Thanks.
And may I ask, Mr. Spade, if there is, as the newspapers infer, a certain relationship between your partner's death and the death of the man Thursby? More than idle curiosity prompted my question, Mr. Spade. I'm trying to recover an ornament that has, shall we say, been mislaid. I thought and hoped that you could assist me. The ornament is a statuette, a black figure of a bird. I am prepared to pay, on behalf of the figure's rightful owner, the sum of $5,000 for its recovery.
5,000?
Yes, and I am prepared to promise that, what is the phrase? No questions will be asked.
$5,000 is a lot of money. Unfortunately, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
You will please clasp your hands together at the back of your neck.
That's a swell gun you got there. A Browning 32 caliber, 7 rounds model. They don't make them anymore.
Oh, you no doubt know your firearms, Mr. Spade. Again, I will ask you to clasp your hands together at the back of your neck.
Sure, there you go.
Excellent. Now, I intend to search your offices, Mr. Spade, and I warn you that if you attempt to prevent me, I shall most certainly shoot you.
Well, go ahead. Search away.
Okay, you will please stand. I shall have to make sure that you're not armed. I'm going to... Ow, you're hurting me.
Drop the gun.
Yes, okay, there it is.
All right, now I've got the gun. Get against that wall. Give me your wallet.
Here, take it.
Let's see what we've got here. Looks like several $100s American, 2 5-pound notes, 3 much-used Greek passports bearing your name and a portrait. And so what's this? A ticket for an orchestra seat at the Geary Theater for tonight. But it looks like that $5,000 offer was just hooey.
Oh, you're mistaken, Mr. Spade. That was and is a genuine offer.
Really?
I am prepared to pay $5,000 for the figure's return. You have it?
No.
Well, if it's not here, then why did you risk serious injury to prevent my searching for it?
I should sit around and let people come in and stick me up?
Well, surely it is natural enough that I should first try to spare the owner such a considerable expense, if possible.
Who is he?
Oh, you'll have to forgive my not answering that question.
It might be better all around if we put our cards on the table.
I do not think it would be better. However, if you wish some assurance of my sincerity, a retainer, would that serve?
It might.
If I may have my wallet back, let's see, you will take, say, $100?
No, I will take, say, $200.
Oh.
Your first guess was that I had the bird. There's nothing to that. What's your second guess?
That you know where it is and you can get it.
In an honest, lawful way.
If possible, and in any event with discretion. I'll be leaving now. I am at the Hotel Belvedere when you wish to communicate with me. Room 635. I confidently expect the greatest mutual benefit from our association, Mr. Spade. May I have my pistol?
Oh, sure. I've forgotten it. Here.
You will please fold your hands at the back of your neck. I intend to search your office.
Well, I'll be. All right, go ahead. I won't stop you. Giving Cairo his gun back was not the smartest trick in the book, but it was a pretty good laugh. Cairo finished his search and, as I told him, found nothing. He collected his belongings, reminded me how to get in touch with him, and slid out the door. I decided it was time to see Miss Wonderly again. Or was it O'Shaughnessy? She was probably still using LeBlanc. I hadn't walked a block when I realized I was being tailed by a young guy in a big hat and a cheap overcoat. The fact that I spotted him told me he wasn't good at this sort of thing, so it was easy to ditch him.
Mr. Spade, please come in. Did you bring any more news? I mean, did you manage it so that the police won't have to know about me?
Well, they won't for a while, anyway.
You won't get into any trouble.
I don't mind a reasonable amount of trouble.
Won't you please sit down?
Thanks. You aren't exactly the sort of person you pretend to be, are you?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Schoolgirl manner, stammering, blushing, all that.
I haven't lived a good life. I've been bad. Worse than you could know.
Well, that's good, because if you actually were as innocent as you seem to be, we'd never get anywhere.
I won't be innocent.
Good. I saw Joel Cairo tonight.
You know him?
Do I know him? You're good. You're very good.
What did he say? About me?
Nothing.
Well, what did we talk about?
He offered me $5,000 for the Black Bird.
And what did you say?
$5,000 is a lot of money.
It is. It's far more than I could ever offer you, if I must bid for your loyalty.
That's good coming from you. What have you given me besides money? Have you given me any of your confidence, any of the truth? Haven't you tried to buy my loyalty with money and nothing else?
I've given you all the money I have. I've thrown myself at your mercy, told you that without your help, I am utterly lost. You kissed me.
That's right, I did. And if I'm not mistaken, you kissed back. Hey, look, sweetheart, I don't care what your secrets are, but I can't go ahead without more confidence in you than I have now. You've got to convince me that you know what it's all about, that you aren't simply fiddling along hoping it'll all come out right in the end.
Can't you trust me just a little longer?
How much is a little? And what are you waiting for?
I must talk to Joel Cairo.
You can see him tonight. He's at the theater about now. He'll be out soon. I'll call his hotel.
But he can't come here. I can't let him know where I am.
My place, then.
All right.
Yes, hello. I want to leave a message for Mr. Joel Cairo. Wait until I pay the cab. Here you go, buddy. Keep the change.
Is this your apartment building?
Oh, yes, it is. We're going to go have a little talk before we see Cairo. Here, take my key.
But where are you going?
You see that blonde gal sitting in the big sedan across the street?
Yes. Who is she?
She's Miles Archer's wife.
Your partner who was killed? His wife?
Let yourself in. Apartment 7A. I'll be along in a few minutes.
But...
Do as I say.
Yes, Sam.
All right, Iva. What's the matter? You oughtn't be here at this time of night.
You told me I oughtn't. You told me I oughtn't to come into your office. Now I oughtn't to come here. Do you mean I oughtn't to chase after you? If that's what you mean, why don't you say it right out?
No, Iva, you got no right to take that attitude.
I know I haven't. I haven't any rights at all. It seems where you're concerned. I thought I did. I thought you pretended to love me.
Oh, what was it you wanted to see me about?
I can't talk to you here, Sam. Can't I come up to your apartment?
No, you can't.
Who was that woman who got out of the cab with you?
Good night, Iva.
What did she want?
Something I can't give her.
What about Joe Cairo?
You'll be alone. Get your business with Cairo over, and then we'll see how we stand.
And you'll let me go about it with him? In my own way?
Sure.
You're a godsend.
Don't overdo it. I'm going to take a look out the window. Yeah, there he is. The same kid in the big hat. I ditched him when he was tailing me to your office, but he obviously knows where I live. Come in, Cairo.
Oh, Mr. Spade. Oh, and I'm delighted to see you again, Miss O'Shaughnessy.
I was sure you would be, Joel. Mr. Spade told me about your offer for the Falcon. How soon can you have the money ready?
Oh, it is ready.
In cash?
Oh, yes, yes.
You are ready to give us $5,000 if we turn over the Falcon to you.
Oh, excuse me. I have expressed myself badly. I do not mean to say that I have the money in my pocket, but that I am prepared to get it on a few minutes' notice at any time during banking hours.
Oh.
I shall be able to give you the money at, say, 10:30 in the morning.
But I haven't got the Falcon.
What? Oh, well, where is it?
Where Floyd hid it.
Floyd? Thursby?
Yes.
And you know where he hid it?
Yes.
Why, if I may ask another question, are you willing to sell it to me?
I'm afraid. After what happened to Floyd, I'm afraid to touch it except to turn it over to somebody else.
Exactly what did happen to Floyd?
The fat man. Casper Gutman.
Gutman? Is he here?
Yes.
Oh, well, that would explain the cheap hoodlum outside.
That little gunsel works with this fat man?
Oh,
this
yes, to be
Gutman?
sure.
But you might be able to get around Gutman, Joel, as you did that one in Istanbul. What was his name?
Oh, you mean the one you set up and had killed?
You filthy little worm! You...
Suddenly she was out of her chair and raining her fist down on Cairo. I stepped between them and grabbed Cairo by the lapels and gave him a good shake.
Ow! This is the second time you've put your hands on me, Mr. Spade.
Yes, and when you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
Oh.
Now you're going to pull that gun on me again, aren't you? Give it here.
Oh, you're hurting me. Yes. Oh, there it is.
Who is it?
I don't know. Keep quiet. I'll go to the door. You stay out of sight, both of you. Here, Angel. You keep the gun on Cairo. Well, if it isn't Lieutenant Dundee and his faithful Sergeant Polehouse, what is it this time?
We want to talk to you, Spade.
Go ahead and talk.
We don't have to do it out here in the hall, do we, Sam?
You can't come in.
Be reasonable, Sam.
It'd pay you to play along with us, Spade. You got away with things so far, but you can't keep it up forever.
Stop me when you can.
There's talk going around about you and Archer's wife. Anything to it?
No, nothing.
The talk is that she tried to get a divorce out of him so she could put in with you, but he wouldn't give it to her. Anything to that?
No.
There's even talk that's why you put him on the job that got him killed.
Oh, don't be a dunce, Dundee. Your first thought that I killed Thursby off because he killed Miles falls to pieces if you blame me for killing Miles, too.
You haven't heard me say you killed anybody. You're the one who keeps bringing that up.
Haven't you anything better to do than popping in here with a lot of fool questions?
And get a lot of lying answers.
Take it easy.
If you say there was nothing between you and Archer's wife, you're a liar, and I'm calling you on it.
Is that the hot tip that brought you here?
That's one of them.
And the other?
Let us in.
I said no.
Oh, help! Help!
All right, I guess we're going in now.
I guess you are.
All right, please, what's going on in here?
Oh, look what she's done to me. She hit me with that pistol she's holding. She cut my head open. Look at this blood. Look at it.
Did you do that, miss?
Oh, I had to. I was all alone in here with him. He attacked me. I tried to keep him off. I couldn't make myself shoot him.
Oh, you dirty, filthy liar. Oh, I came in here in good faith and was attacked by both of them. And when you officers came, he went out to talk with you, leaving her here with this pistol. And then she said they were going to kill me after you left. And I called out for help so you wouldn't leave me here to be murdered. And then she struck me with the pistol.
Make him tell the truth. Why don't you?
Behave, sister.
Well, Tom, don't guess what'll go wrong pulling the whole lot of them in.
Hey, don't be in a hurry, boys. Everything can be explained.
I bet.
Miss Shaughnessy, may I present Lieutenant Dundee and Detective Sergeant Polehouse? Miss Shaughnessy is an operative in my employ since yesterday.
That isn't so.
This is Mr. Joel Cairo, an acquaintance of Thursby's. He came to my office this afternoon to hire me to find something Thursby was supposed to have on him when he was bumped off. It looked funny the way he put it to me, so I wouldn't touch it. Then he pulled a gun. Oh, well, never mind that. Anyway, after talking it over with Miss O'Shaughnessy, I thought maybe I could get something out of him about Miles and Thursby's killings. So I asked him up here. And maybe we put the questions to him a little rough, pointing the gun at him, but he wasn't hurt enough to cry for help.
Well, what have you got to say to that, Mr. Cairo?
I don't know what to say.
Try telling the facts.
The facts?
Quit stalling. All you got to do is swear a complaint that they took a poke at you and we'll throw them into the can.
Oh, I don't want to resort to having them in jail.
The blood on your head, where'd it come from, Mr. Cairo?
I fell. We were struggling for the pistol when you came in, and I tripped on the end of that rug there, and I fell.
Oh, horse feathers. I'll take you along just for packing the gun anyway.
Don't be a sap, Dundee. It's one of mine from the office. It's too bad it's only a .32 caliber, not a 25 or a 45 like the ones that killed Miles and Thursby.
This ain't right. Get their names and addresses.
Joel Cairo, Hotel Belvedere.
Miss O'Shaughnessy's address, as of now, is in care of my office. Now get out of here. I've had enough of this.
I'm going too.
What's the hurry?
Oh, no hurry. It's quite late, and...
Well, then get out. We're getting out too, but I'm keeping my eye on all of you.
I hope you know what you're doing, Sam.
You're absolutely the wildest person I've ever known. Do you always carry on so high-handed?
All right, now you've had your talk with Cairo. Now you can talk to me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, I'm listening.
You are altogether unpredictable.
I'm still listening.
Oh, look at the time. I must go.
Not until you've told me about it.
Am I a prisoner? You're the most insistent person.
Yes, and wild and unpredictable. Say, what is this bird, this falcon that everybody's all steamed up about?
It's a black figure, smooth, shiny, of a bird, a hawk, or a falcon, about a foot high.
What makes it so important?
I don't know. They wouldn't tell me, but they promised me 500 pounds if I helped them get it from the man who had it.
That was in Istanbul?
Yes, but that's all. They promised me 500 pounds to help them, and I did. And then we found that Joel Cairo meant to desert us, taking the falcon with him and leaving Floyd and me nothing. So we did exactly that to him. But then I wasn't any better off there because Floyd hadn't the intention of keeping his promise to me about sharing it equally. I had learned that by the time we got here.
What's the bird made of?
Porcelain or black stone. I don't know. I only saw it once for a few minutes. Floyd showed it to me when we first got a hold of it.
You are a liar.
I am a liar. I've always been a liar.
Well, don't brag about it. Was there any truth at all to that yarn?
Some, not very much. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of lying and thinking up lies and not knowing what is a lie and what is the truth. I wish I...
Now come here, precious.
Oh, kiss me again, Sam. Kiss me. Kiss me like you mean it.
You mean like this?
And now a brief word from our sponsors.
Friends, it's so foolish to suffer with an ordinary headache when Bromo Seltzer gives you such fast, pleasant, three-way relief.
It's true, Mr. Weed. Bromo Seltzer is so pleasant to take, and it works so fast to help your headache all three ways.
Yes, Bromo Seltzer speedily fights the headache pain itself. Then it goes right to work to soothe the upset stomach and jangled nerves that often may team up with a headache. Try it next time you get a headache. Prove to yourself just how fast it works to help your headache all three ways. Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer.
I love Baco. It's rich in chocolate tea. Chocolate flavored Baco is mighty good for me. Mama puts it in my milk for extra energy. Baco gives me iron and sunshine vitamin D. Oh, I love Baco. That's the drink for me.
And now we return you to the Radio Dog Theater's presentation of The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett.
After the visit from the two policemen the night before, I figured I had to get some answers, fast. I went over to Cairo's hotel.
Well, Sam Spade. What brings you to the Hotel Belvedere?
Say, tell me, Luke, you've been a house detective for as long as I've known you. How is it you let a cheap punk like that into your hotel?
What? Who?
The kid playing gangster over there in the cheap hat and overcoat.
That one there in the armchair?
That's him. He's casing the place, and it looks like he's carrying a gun under that coat.
Thanks, Sam. I'll take care of him right now.
I made my way to the elevators. By the time I got there, I looked back to see my friend Luke had the kid braced against a wall.
All right, my young friend. What do you think you're up to? Hey, get your hands up. Oh, well, what have we here? You have a permit for this artillery? Of course you don't. Come with me.
Say, get your hands off of me. What do you think you're doing, huh? Stop shoving.
Luke had called the SFPD, and sure enough, a pair of them came sailing through the door, headed straight for the melee in the lobby. A big Irish cop I recognized grabbed the kid by his collar and hauled him out the door and threw him onto the sidewalk. As I stepped onto the elevator, the people in the lobby were giving their full attention to what was happening out on the sidewalk. Well. Our men in blue in action. When I knocked on the door, I could hear Cairo moving around in there.
Just a minute, please.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Let's talk.
You'll please excuse me. Our private conversations have not been such that I am anxious to continue them. Pardon my speaking bluntly, but it is the truth.
You mean last night? Hey, what else could I do? I had to throw in with her. I don't know where the bird is. You don't either. She does. How are we going to get it if I don't play along with her?
Oh, you always have, I must say, a smooth explanation ready.
What do you want me to do? Learn to stutter?
Oh.
Are you getting any closer to getting your hands on that 5,000?
I'll have it when you hand over the Falcon.
Hey, what do you know about the fat man she was talking about?
Oh, Casper Gutman? Oh, he's a self-described art collector who sometimes uses, shall we say, unusual methods to acquire his treasures.
And you figure that kid that's been tailing me works for this Gutman?
Oh, most assuredly. He's been with Gutman for some time. The fat man is known for employing unsavory types. All I know about him is his name is Wilmer Cook.
Wilmer the Gunsel, huh? I hightailed it back to the office. What's up, Effie, darling?
Shh. Yes, I'll have him call you as soon as he comes in. That's the third time I was called this morning. Miss O'Shaughnessy's in your office. Oh, and a Mr. Gutman called. When I told him you weren't in, he said, will you please tell him that the young man you had arrested at the Belvedere Hotel relayed your message. He said he'd phone again.
Gutman, huh? So we bailed out the Gunsel. Thanks, darling.
Oh, Sam, somebody's been in my apartment. It's all upside down, every which way. I changed as fast as I could and came over. Oh, you must have let that boy follow you here.
No, Angel, I told you. I shook him before I went to your place. Now, look, my own true love, I've got to keep in some sort of touch with all the loose ends of this dizzy affair if I'm ever going to make heads or tails of it. We've got to find a new home for you, haven't we?
I won't go back to that apartment.
I think I've got it. Wait a minute. Effie, are you strong enough to put Miss O'Shaughnessy up for a few days?
Is she in any danger, Sam?
I think she is.
Well, yes, I suppose.
That's very kind of you.
Better start now, you two. Go out the back entrance. There's usually a cab parked by the alleyway.
What about you, Sam?
I'll call you later. Now get out of here.
Come along, dear.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes, this is Sam Spade. Yes, I've been waiting to hear from you. Now, the sooner the better. Say 15 minutes? Right, Alexandria Hotel, 12C. Casper Gutman. It was about time I was meeting him. A couple of blocks walk, and I'm standing in front of the open door to his suite at the Alexandria. Looking up at me is, the kid in the big hat and coat, Wilmer. Gutman bailed him out, all right.
Huh. So, we meet again. It's gonna be different this time, Jack.
The name is Sam, little man, although I did have an Uncle Jack. He wouldn't have liked you either.
Wait here, wise guy.
Go ahead. Get your boss, Wilmer.
Hey, say, how do you know my name?
A little birdie told me. Now go get Gutman. The little fella disappeared through a door. A moment later, the largest man I've ever seen entered the room. He was 6 feet if he was an inch. Had to go 300 pounds or more. Dressed in a white suit and shirt and a big flowered cravat. You could barely see his toy gunman standing next to him.
Mr. Spade, you made good time. Come in. I see you and Wilmer are well acquainted.
What do you want me to do with this character, Mr. Gutman?
Easy, Wilmer. Mr. Gutman here can't bail you out of a hospital ward.
Oh, keep on riding me and they'll be picking iron out of your liver.
The cheaper the crook, the gaudier the patter. Listen, Gutman, keep this gunsel away from me or I'll kill him.
Well, sir, I must say you've a most violent temper. Go into the bedroom, Wilmer, and close the door. Mr. Spade and I have business. Let me pour you a drink. Say when. We begin well, sir. Cheers.
Swell. Now, what about this black bird you're looking for?
You're the man for me, sir. No beating around the bush, but right to the point. Let us talk about the blackbird, by all means. But first, sir, answer me a question. Are you here as Miss O'Shaughnessy's representative?
I represent me.
That's wonderful, sir. I do like a man who tells you in no certain terms he's looking out for himself. Don't we all? I don't trust a man who says he's not.
Uh-huh.
Let's begin, Mr. Spade. Have you any conception how much money can be got for the blackbird?
No.
Miss O'Shaughnessy didn't tell you what it is, and Cairo didn't either.
He offered me $10,000 for it.
10,000. And dollars, mind you, not even pounds. This is going to be the most astounding thing you've ever heard of, sir. And I say that knowing that a man of your caliber and your profession must have known some astounding things in his time. Another drink, sir.
Why not?
What do you know, sir, about the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, later called the Knights of Rhodes?
Crusaders or something, weren't they?
Highest mark, sir. In 1539, these crusading knights persuaded the Emperor Charles V to give them the island of Malta. He made but one condition. The Knights of Rhodes were to pay him each year a tribute worthy of his favor. Have you any conception of the extreme, the immense wealth of the order of that time?
I imagine they were pretty well fixed.
Pretty well is putting it mildly. They were rolling in wealth, sir. For years they had taken from the East. Nobody knows what spoils of gems, precious metals, silks, ivories. We know that the holy wars to them were largely a matter of loot.
It sounds that way.
The knights were profoundly grateful to the Emperor Charles for his generosity towards them. For the first year's tribute, they sent him a glorious falcon encrusted from head to feet with the finest jewels in their coffers. Well, sir, what do you think of that?
I don't know what to make of it.
They sent this foot-high jeweled bird to Charles, who was then in Spain. They sent it on a ship commanded by a member of the Order. It never reached Spain. A famous admiral of buccaneers took the knight's ship and the bird. In 1713, it turned up in Sicily. In 1814, it appeared in Paris. It had, by that time, acquired a coat of black enamel so that it looked like nothing more than a fairly interesting black statuette. In that disguise, sir, it was, you might say, kicked around Paris for more than 60 years by private owners, too stupid to see what was under the skin. Then, just last year, it was discovered by an astute Russian collector living in Turkey, General Kemedov. No thickness of enamel could conceal value from his eyes. You begin to believe me a little, Mr. Spade.
I haven't said I didn't.
I packed a bag and took up the boat train immediately. I lost no time finding Kemedov in an Istanbul suburb. My agents were able to get out of him that only the day before he'd been visited by a man and a woman who had stolen the Falcon at gunpoint. And there the trail ended. That is until I met Miss O'Shaughnessy and Mr. Thursby in Hong Kong. We settled on a price. They said the bird would be shipped to San Francisco to avoid the suspicious prying eyes of the Hong Kong police. Either it has not yet arrived or O'Shaughnessy and Thursby received it, and after his death, she's hidden it. I want that Falcon, Mr. Spade, and I'm a man who gets what he wants. Your glass, sir. Well, now, before we start to talk prices, how soon are you willing to produce the Falcon?
That's hard to say.
I'm wondering just how much Miss O'Shaughnessy has told you. It might be that you have no idea where the Falcon is. In fact, my instincts tell me she probably lied to you, or at least not confide in you completely. She's notorious for that kind of sort of behavior. It could be it's on its way from Hong Kong as we speak. Therefore, I may not need to share any of the profits with you. How is your drink, sir?
Suddenly, the room was spinning. Gutman had slipped something into my drink. Things began to get dark. I tried to stand, but I was too shaky. The next thing I remember is falling. Just before I lost consciousness, I heard Gutman say something to Wilmer.
Put that gun away, Wilmer. We don't need another murder on our hands. We'll dispose of him later. We don't have much time. Hurry!
And now a brief word from our sponsors.
Here's the story of the 1940 cars in a nutshell. Best Bets Buick. See your nearest Buick dealer for complete details.
Men, no shaving proposition beats this. Listen. There's $1 cash, says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. Yes, $1 cash says this is it for the clean, smooth, comfortable shaves you've always wanted. And here's why.
Because it's light and fine textured, Colgate Brushless completely surrounds, softens, and supports each bristle better than greasy, heavy creams. There's no matting down. There is no clogging. Your razor doesn't skid or skip when you use Colgate Brushless. Instead, it cuts through clean and smooth.
Try Colgate Brushless. See how it does away with razor scrape and soreness. Discover how slick and smooth and downright comfortable it makes your shave.
Get a large or giant-sized tube or jar of Colgate Brushless shaving cream. If 1 week's use doesn't win you completely, just send me back the carton top and we'll mail you your $1. Address, Bill Stern, care of Colgate, Jersey City, Zone 2, New Jersey. Remember, there's $1 cash says Colgate Brushless wins you in a flash. Real fine.
This is Radio Day by the Bay, and you are listening to KCHR, the voice of the California Historical Radio Society, coming to you live from the Kaufman Theater in Alameda, California. And now, we return you to the Radio Dog Theater's presentation of The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett.
I don't know how long I was out, but when I opened my eyes, everything hurt. I staggered to my feet and made it to the bathroom. I splashed some water on my face and felt a little better. I went into Gutman's bedroom and started looking around in drawers and closets, and then I noticed a newspaper on the bedside table. I took a closer look and saw that it was open to a page of ship arrivals. There, circled in black ink, was the arrival time of a ship named the La Paloma, 10 o'clock. I looked at my watch. It was 11 o'clock. I had to find Bridget O'Shaughnessy. Most likely she'd thrown in with Joel Cairo and got the bird from their Confederate on the La Paloma. Or had Gutman gotten there first? Where would she go? Of course, she has the key to my apartment. Just as I was about to put my key in the lock, the door sprung open, and there was Wilmer, pointing his Colt 45 at my chest.
I knew I should have killed you before we left. Get in here. Let's see what you're carrying.
Get away. You're not going to frisk me.
Stand still. Shut up.
Put your paw on me, and I'm going to make you use that gun. Ask your boss if he wants me shot up before we talk.
Look, I said...
I put my hands up. I entered the apartment. Sliding past Wilmer in the narrow hallway, I brought my hand down hard on Wilmer's wrist. With the other, I slapped him repeatedly across the face, then finished him off with a roundhouse to his chin. He went down hard. With his 45 in my hand, I entered the living room, and there was Gutman, Cairo, and Bridget O'Shaughnessy staring at me in disbelief. On the table was a ragged package wrapped in Excelsior, an old newspaper. Gutman had his hand on the package, and to make things even more interesting, there was a dead man on my carpet. All right, nobody move.
Sam!
Mr. Spade, you are resilient, I must say. Do come in. We were just about to open this package to determine its contents. My instincts were right. You were not the person to negotiate. Miss O'Shaughnessy had it all along. But I'm glad you made it for the unveiling. Sad that poor Wilmer will miss it. But he appears to be quite unconscious.
Now, who's the dead guy on the carpet?
That, sadly, is the late Captain Jacoby of the La Paloma, Miss O'Shaughnessy and Mr. Thursby's Confederate.
Sam, they told me you were dead. I was so frightened.
Quiet, you. Finish your story about Jacoby, Gutman.
I'd be happy to, sir. But could we first open this package I've been searching for 17 years, sir?
Not until you tell me what's going on here.
Oh, very well, sir. As soon as he docked, Jacoby went to the post office and received a general delivery note from Miss O'Shaughnessy. She instructed to bring the Falcon here, to your apartment. When he arrived, Cairo became, shall we say, overexcited at the sight of the package and grabbed for it. Jacoby resisted and, well, Wilma stepped in and shot the poor captain.
I just couldn't keep it up without you, without your protection. I've given in to them, Sam. I'm finished with it.
Without a payoff?
Yes.
No, she's lying.
So what else is new? All right, you've got your Falcon. If she doesn't want the money, I'll take it. Give it here.
You'll find the contents of this envelope sufficient, I trust.
10,000? We were talking about more money than this.
Yes, sir, we were. But this is genuine coin of the realm, sir. With $1 of this, you can buy $10 of silk. Now, let's open the package and behold, the Maltese Falcon.
Oh, not so fast. There's another thing to be taken care of first. We've got to have a fall guy. The police have got to have somebody they can stick for all the murders. We need to give them a fall guy.
Come, Mr. Spade. You can't expect us to believe at this late date that you are the least bit afraid of the police, or that you are not quite able to handle.
I'm up to my neck, Gutman. I've got to come through with somebody, a victim, when the time comes. If I don't, I'll be it. Well, let's give him the gunsel. Give him Wilmer. He actually did shoot Thursby and Jacoby, didn't he? Anyway, he's made to order for the part. Let's turn him over to them.
By God, sir, you're a character, that you are. There's never any telling what you'll say or do next, except that it is bound to be something astonishing.
It's our best bet. With him in their hands, the police will...
But, my dear man, can't you see that even if for a moment thought of doing such a thing, what in the world do you think would keep Wilma from telling the police every last detail about the Falcon and all of us?
Let him talk his head off. I promise you, nobody will do anything about it.
Well, sir, how would you be able to fix it?
The San Francisco DA is like most district attorneys. To be sure of convicting one man, he'll let a half dozen equally guilty accomplices go free. Now, I can show them if he starts fooling around trying to gather up everybody, he's going to have a tangled case. While if he sticks to Wilmer here, he can get a conviction standing on his head.
See here, sir. Surely this can wait till after we've unwrapped this package. I'm most anxious.
Let's get the details fixed. Why did he shoot Thursby and my partner? I've got to know all that happened so I can be sure that the parts that won't fit are covered up.
I shall be candid with you, sir. Thursby was Miss O'Shaughnessy's ally. We believed that disposing of him in the manner we would cause Miss O'Shaughnessy to stop and think that perhaps it would be best to patch up her differences with us regarding the Falcon.
You didn't try to make a deal with him before giving him the works?
We did. Yes, sir. We most certainly did. I talked to him myself that very night, but could do nothing with him. He was quite determinedly loyal to Miss O'Shaughnessy, so Wilma followed him back to his hotel and did what he did.
That sounds right. Now, Miles Archer.
On that subject, I'm sorry to say, I have nothing to offer you. I have no idea who killed your partner. Well, Wilma, I am sorry indeed to lose you, and I want you to know that I couldn't be fonder of you if you were my own son. But, well, by God, if you lose a son, it's possible to get another. And there's only one Maltese Falcon. Now, after 17 years, I shall unwrap this package and hold in my hands the glorious Maltese Falcon. Oh. There it is. There it is. But I must be sure it's the real thing and look under the enamel. May I extract this, my small pocket knife?
Be my guest.
It's a fake. It's a fake.
You bungled it. You and your stupid attempt to buy it. Kamadov caught on to how valuable it was. Oh, no wonder we had so little trouble stealing it. You imbecile, you bloated idiot.
Yes, this is the Russian's hand. There's no doubt about it. Well, sir, what do you suggest? Shall we stand here and shed tears and call each other names, or shall we go back to Istanbul?
You're incorrigible.
For 17 years I've wanted that little item and have been trying to get it. If I must spend another year on the quest, well, sir, that will be another expenditure in time of only 5 and 15/17%.
I go with you.
Not so fast. The gunsel's gone. Down the fire escape.
Wilma, what?
A swell lot of thieves.
We have little to boast about, sir. But the world hasn't come to an end just because we've run into a little setback. I'll have to ask for the envelope, sir.
I'll held up my end. You got your dingus. It's your hard luck, not mine. It wasn't what you wanted.
Now, come, sir. We've all failed, and there's no reason for expecting all of us to bear the whole brunt. As you can see, this pistol I produced is not unlike Mr. Cairo's. The fact that I hold it pressed against Miss O'Shaughnessy's head,
Sam.
I'm sure must give you pause. In short, sir, I must ask you to return the cash.
Well, I'm keeping $1,000. That'll take care of my time and expenses. I'll give you a couple of hours to make yourself scarce, then I'm calling the cops and telling them that you shot Jacoby here.
With no mention of where we might be going, I trust.
Deal.
Very well, fair enough, sir. Now, sir, we shall say goodbye to you. Too bad you won't be joining us for our Istanbul adventure. Frankly, I'd like to have you along. You're a good man, of good judgment and many resources. Now that there is no alternative, I'm sure that you'll somehow manage the police.
I'll make out all right.
Well, sir, the shortest farewells are the best. Adieu. And to you, Miss O'Shaughnessy, I leave the imitation Falcon. Are there on the table as a little memento.
Sam, what are you going to do?
Now, hello. Is Sergeant Polehouse there? Yeah, please. This is Samuel Spade. Hello, Tom. I've got something for you. Here it is. Floyd Thursby was shot by a kid named Wilmer Cook, about 20 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall, in a gray woolen suit, gray single-breasted overcoat and hat, shirt with a soft attached collar, and a light crepe silk tie. He's working for a man named Casper Gutman. You can't miss Gutman. He must weigh 300 pounds. That fellow Cairo is in with them, too. Another thing, they shot a merchant seaman named Jacoby here in my apartment. I'll explain later. They just left here for the Alexandria Hotel, but they're blowing town, so you'll have to move fast. Now, I don't think they're expecting a pinch. You watch yourself when you go up against a kid. That's right, Tom. And good luck.
Sam?
Gutman and Cairo will spill the beans about us when they're nailed. You know that. When we're sitting on dynamite, we've only got minutes to get set for the police, so give it all to me. Fast. Talk.
Where shall I begin?
The day you first came to my office, why did you want Thursby shadowed?
I told you, Sam, I suspected him of betraying me, and I wanted to find out.
That's a lie. You had Thursby hooked, and you knew it. You wanted to get him out of the way before Jacoby came with the loot. Isn't that so?
I thought that if Floyd saw someone following him, he might be frightened into going away.
Miles hadn't many brains, but he wasn't clumsy enough to be spotted the first night. You must have told Thursby he was being followed.
I told him, yes. But please believe me, Sam. I wouldn't have told him if I thought Floyd would kill him. I wouldn't for a minute.
If you thought he wouldn't kill Miles, you were right, Angel.
Didn't he?
Miles hadn't many brains, but he had too many years of experience as a detective to be caught like that by a man he was shadowing up a blind alley with a gun tucked away in his hip and his overcoat buttoned. But he would have gone up there with you, Angel. He was just dumb enough for that. He'd have looked you up and down and licked his lips and gone, grinning from ear to ear. And then you could have stood as close to him as you liked in the dark and the fog and put a hole through him with a gun you had gotten from Thursby that evening.
Don't talk to me like that, Sam. You know I didn't. You know I...
Stop it. The police will be blowing in any minute. Talk.
Oh, why do you accuse me of such a terrible...
Oh, this isn't the spot for that schoolgirl act. The pair of us are sitting under the gallows. Why did you shoot him?
I didn't mean to at first. I didn't really. But when I saw that Floyd couldn't be frightened, I can't look at you and tell you this, Sam.
You thought Thursby would tackle them and one or the other of them would go down. If Thursby was the one, then you were rid of him. If it was Miles, then you could see that Thursby was caught and you'd be rid of him. That it?
Something like that.
And when you found that Thursby didn't mean to tackle Miles, you borrowed the gun and did it yourself, right? You didn't know then that Gutman was here hunting for you. You didn't suspect that, or you wouldn't have been trying to shake your protector. But when you knew Gutman was here and you heard Thursby had been shot, You knew you needed another protector, so you came back to me.
Yes, but oh, sweetheart, it wasn't only that. I would have come back to you sooner or later. From the very first instant I saw you, I knew...
You, Angel. Well, if you get a good break, you'll be out at the Tehachapi in 20 years. You can come back to me then.
What are you saying?
I hope they don't hang you, Precious, by that sweet neck.
You're not...
I'm going to send you over. The chances are you'll get off with life, and that means you'll be out again in 20 years. You're an angel. I'll wait for you. If they hang you, I'll always remember you.
Don't, Sam, don't say that, even in fun. Oh, you frightened me for a moment. I really thought you do such wild and unpredictable things.
Don't be silly. You're taking the fall.
But Sam, you can't. Not after what we've been through together and meant to each other. You can't. You've been playing with me, only pretending you cared, to trap me like this. You didn't care at all. You don't love me.
What if I do? I won't play the sap for you.
You know it's not like that. You can't say that.
I'm saying it. You've never played square with me for half an hour at a stretch since I've known you.
You know, deep down in your heart, you know that in spite of anything I've done, I love you.
I don't care who loves who. I'm not going to play the sap for you. I won't walk in Thursby's and I don't know how many others' footsteps. You killed Miles, and you're going over for it.
Why must you do this to me, Sam? Surely Mr. Archer wasn't as much to you as...
Oh, listen, this won't do any good. You'll never understand me, but I'll try once. And then you'll give it up. Listen, when a man's partner is killed, he's supposed to do something about it. It doesn't make any difference what you thought of him. He was your partner, and you're supposed to do something about it. And then it happens we're in the detective business, and well, when one of your organization gets killed, it's bad business to let the killer get away with it. Bad all around. Bad for every detective, everywhere.
You don't expect me to think that these things you're saying are sufficient reason for sending me to the...
Well, wait till I'm through here, and then you can talk. Third, I've no earthly reason that I can trust you. And if I did this and got away with it, you'd have something on me you could use whenever you wanted to. Next, since I've got something on you, I couldn't be sure you wouldn't decide to put a hole in me someday. I wouldn't like the idea that you'd played me for a sucker. All those are on one side. On the other side, maybe we've got what? All we've got is that maybe you love me and maybe I love you.
You know whether you love me or not.
Maybe I do, but what of it? I'll have some rotten nights after I sent you over, and that'll pass. And if all I said doesn't mean anything to you, forget it, and we'll make it just this. I won't because all of me wants to, regardless of consequences, and because you've counted on that with me, the same as you counted on that with the others.
Look at me and tell me the truth. Would you have done this to me if the Falcon had been real and you had been paid your money?
Don't be too sure I'm as crooked as I'm supposed to be. That kind of reputation might be good business, bringing in high-priced jobs and making it easier to deal with the enemy, but a lot of money would have been at least one more item on your side of the scales.
If you loved me, you'd need nothing more on that side.
I won't play the sap for you. Come in.
Sam.
Hello, Tom. Got him?
Got him.
Swell. Here's another one for you. You've met Miss O'Shaughnessy. She killed Miles. And I've got some exhibits, the boy's guns and one of Cairo's, and a $1,000 bill I was supposed to be bribed with, and that black statuette on the table there, and all the fuss was all about.
Maybe I had you all wrong, Spade.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Oh, cut it out, Sam. Anyway, Cairo is in custody. Gutman's dead. The kid had just finished shooting him when we got there.
You ought to have expected that, huh? Now, shall we be getting down to the station?
You're going through with this?
You bet I am, Precious. Take her, Tom. I'll bring along the dingus.
What is that thing, Sam?
Well, this is the stuff that dreams are made of.
Once more, again, ladies and gentlemen, to the California Historical Radio Society Radio Dog Theater under the direction of Terry McGovern.